Hello everyone and welcome back to the YouTube channel of Being ACCA. This is another video in the PM Pre-September 2024 mock exam. So we are solving the third case study question, Kent Company. Let's get started. Kent Company produces a range of consumer electronics and has launched a new media streaming device called the Streamstar. The Streamstar will be produced by the existing workforce on a new production line, and the production process will be similar to that of the other products that they produce. The following product information is available. So they've given you the selling price, material, labor, fixed overheads, and the profit. Costing above did not consider the possible learning curve effect among the production workers. The production supervisor is confident that a 90% learning curve should apply and that a steady state of production will be reached at the 50th unit. The learning index for 90% is minus 0.152. Labor is paid at 27.5 per hour. The marketing director expects demand for the Streamster to be seasonal and has made the following projections for the seasonal variation. The trend equation has been calculated as y equals 85,000 plus 2980x, where x indicates the quarter and y indicates the sales. So this is what is given to us. Now we have to tell what direct labor cost should be applied to the 50th unit of the Streamster after adjusting the time per unit for the learning curve, and we have to give our answer to two decimal places. So we are going to use the formula over here, the arithmetic, the algebraic approach. So 50 units and 49 units, then we're going to find out the time difference. So let's see what our cumulative time is going to look like. Y equals a x into b. So we are already given with the b. So a over here is the time that it's going to take for the very first unit. So let's see what's given with respect to this in the question. All right, so we might have to find this out. You are given the direct labor cost of $11 and the labor is being paid at the rate of 27.5. So if you are paying a total of $11, that means you're paying them for 0.4 hours. So let's do our calculations accordingly. All right, so y equals to a we have worked out as 0.4 multiplied by the number of units that we are producing, which is 50, and this 50 needs to be raised to the power of b. So 50 needs to raise to the power of minus 0.152. So this is what we'll get for the average time. And now this is the average time per unit. Now we can also find out the total time. So the total time will be multiplied by 50. This is the total time that it has taken for 50 units. Similarly, we'll be working it out for the 49 units. So 49 units, I'm just going to replace. This has to be G48 and this needs to be made 49. So 49 units, this is the average time. And now to calculate the total, again, I'm going to use this, multiply this with 49 units. So the time that it has taken for the 50th unit is nothing but the difference between these two, which is these many hours. And this needs to be multiplied by their hourly rate, which is 27.5, to arrive at the final answer of 5.15. Moving forward, after the first month of production, the production supervisor realized that a 90% learning rate should have been used instead of 90%. So you should always remember that higher learning rate means slower learning. So that means if the 95% it should have you should have taken instead of 90%. That means you're learning, if you see what is going to be about the cost of the 50th unit, then the cost of the 50th unit will be higher than expected because learning is slower. More learning rate means slower learning. So your learning is slower. That means labor is going to take more time. So the labor cost is going to be higher than expected. Moving forward, what sales level is forecast for quarter 4 of year 2 of the Streamster to the nearest unit? Assume index number 1 refers to quarter 1 of year 1. So for the they are asking us for year 2 quarter number 4. So that means your quarter number is going to become 8 over here, 4 quarters of the first year, and then fourth quarter of the year 2 again is the 8th quarter. So the equation is given to us 85,000 plus 2980 multiplied by the quarter number, which is 8. This is what we have. Now, this is not yet our final answer because we need to adjust it for the seasonal variation. In Q4, you see a 135%. So you can simply multiply this with 1.35 or 135%. So this is going to lead you to your final answer, and it's going to be 146,934. Moving further, second last question pertaining to this scenario, the management accountant needs to calculate the fixed cost related to an expensive item of production equipment that be used in the new product. She has gathered the following information from the previous 12 months: the sum of machine hours, the total cost, variable cost per hour. Management accountant arrived at the results using monthly totals, that is, the spreadsheet contained 12 rows of data. Using regression analysis, what are the estimated fixed costs? So how are you going to do your workings over here is you take the total cost that you have, and this is for the period of 12 months. So if you find out the monthly one, you will be taking 10,350,000 divided by 10, and this needs from this you're going to subtract what is your variable cost per hour multiplied by the sum of the machine hours that you have used. So variable cost is 5.35 multiplied by the sum of machine hours is 252,336. So this is what is going to give you the remainder of the fixed cost. So minus this figure. So just give me a moment. This needs to be divided by 12. So now you're going to arrive at your final answer, 5.35 multiplied by all right, so since we converted into per month, this is also going to be converted into per month. So we are going to again divide this by 12, and then we'll arrive at our final answer of $750,000. This is our estimated fixed costs. Moving to the last question that we have, the management accountant determined that the correlation coefficient of the data set relating to the machine cost and machine hours was 0.9. Which two of the following statements are correct? So the first statement talks about the variation in the machine cost from month to month is caused by a factor other than machine hours. So it's going to be the square that you have of 90. So 90 into 90, that gives you percentage. So it's going to be 0.9 into 0.9, that gives you 0.81. That means 81% of any change in y can be explained because of change in x. So remainder change will be caused by something else. That means 90 out of the total 100, out of 1, if you subtract 0.81, 19% of the variation is from something else, which is exactly what the first statement over here is outlining. And then the change in the value of x explains 90% of change in value y. Rather, it is 81% of the change in y can be explained because of change in x. Then this statement is incorrect. Moving to the third one, the correlation between the machine hours and total cost is strong. Absolutely. If you see the correlation of 81%, it's quite strong. It's pretty close to +1. So it's a strong correlation. Last statement says increase in machine hours of 90% will increase total cost 100%. No, that's not correct. That's why this statement gets eliminated. With this, we are done with the section B of your pre-September 2024 PM mock exam. I hope that this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching.